That music terrifies the shit out of me.
I know you always say that, man.
Scares me, man. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm not
Fucked up,
sure where
man.
Robbie came up with that
I
one.
think Robbie was, he went into his book of fucking like incandescent death prose and he came up with this fucking mantra chant.
Maybe. But what's
Possibly.
going on, guys? Here again to review Twilight, the original Twilight Zone episodes
Twilight.
13, 14, 15, and 16 tonight. Um,
For a second, I thought you said we were going to do Twilight. I was going to be out of here.
nah, Brad, the Twilight Zone. My girl, if my girl was here, she'd be trying to get us to review fucking Twilight, but not
Cool.
today. Not today, Satan.
Nope. No, today we're reviewing episodes, 13, 14, 15, and 16
Yep.
of the original Twilight Zone.
Yeah, buddy.
The titles are The Four of Us Are Dying, A Shot an Arrow into the Air, Third from the Sun, and The Hitchhiker, not to be confused with the movie with Rutger Hauer in it. And what's up, Dylan? How are you doing?
I'm good, bro. I tell you,
So
the Hitchhiker gave me a lot of Creep Show 2 vibes. If you ever seen Creep Show 2, the last segment of Creep Show 2,
we'll get to that.
like
So
one.
the first one is The Four of Us Are Dying, written by Rod Serling, based on a story by George Clayton Johnson, is a big writer, directed by John Bram, stars Harry Towns and Ross Martin from Wild Wild West, Beverly Garland, who was in a bunch of stuff, and basically is a story of a con man in the 50s. And man, this episode very 50s orientated. Con man in the 50s basically goes around with the ability of changing his looks. He can look in the mirror, he can think about it, and in a second he could be somebody else.
Almost like a skinwalker type guy. But
Yeah. Yeah, this episode gave me very heavy vibes of Dark Man, how he could change his face and blend in with the underworld.
see, at first I didn't know if the dude was really dead because he says he's a ghost.
Well, yeah, I think
Because he says he supposedly got killed and thrown in the river.
yeah.
So
Well,
I thought he
no,
was
that
dead.
was he got killed and thrown in the river is the guy he took over, the gangster, because you read it in the paper. All these people he was just a dude with the ability of like thinking about it and changing his looks. As I said, Dark Man also gave me vibes at the end where he's cycling through all the people he's been. That reminded me of the Thing. In the Thing, when the Thing's dying and all the different people are coming out of him.
Yeah.
I wonder if one of these guys watched the Thing and watched this and got inspired. But basically,
Right.
he could turn it into anybody. So basically, he goes around looking at the newspaper, seeing where he can go in. So first thing he does is goes to this woman who basically had her boyfriend get killed, drowned in the river. Then he goes to guys who basically killed him, extorting him for money. And the third guy he goes to, who you think would be the most, is this somebody that should be the nicest guy? He changes into a boxer and he comes upon the boxer's father. And that's his undoing. That's the guy who murders him.
The guy,
Not the girl, not the gangsters, although he barely escaped out of that.
yeah.
But he turns into this dude who's actually turns out to be a bad dude, and his father, but kills him. But so basically a con man that has this supernatural ability to change his looks by looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
And this one really was heavy in that 50s vibe with all the casino neon and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was well done. But we've seen a lot this whole type thing in the Twilight Zone, but it's kind of cool. It's never really explained. Just explained that he's had this ability since birth.
Yeah.
And he really has to be concentrating to be, get out of it. Overall, I liked it. It was a decent story. What did you think, Bill?
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it or anything. I thought it was mid. I'm not gonna lie, man. This week's was kind of similar to last week's, man, where I wasn't that crazy about the episodes. I thought they were good. I would never say they were bad or anything. I just thought they were decent. This one, like you said, it has kind of like that like little aesthetic vibe where he's going to those clubs and everything. You got the old school boxer. And then like the mob type guys, but you got this 2-bit hustler, going around and trying to get the money from the mob guys. Then you know, while he's running away, he turns his face into the boxer. Um, I thought the ending was cool because you get those that kind of like you kind of get like you know how they would do the old Wolfman effects where like you
Right.
it would just be like a cut like all these quick
The
cuts
fade, the quick fade.
where you kind of get that with the faces and you get like the four different faces that he is.
Right.
Um, I think the guy who played him was good. You know, um, he's obviously like the main guy in it, even though he does. They have people obviously play him as different characters. Um,
Right.
yeah, I thought it was a good. I thought it was a pretty decent episode. Though not my favorite by far, though. But you know, I had fun with it. You know,
Yeah, I mean, the conceit is another one of these
yeah,
fantastical, yeah, one of these fantastical things where this guy has the ability of doing this and becomes his undoing. You know, when the cop was going to take him downtown, man, he changed into the other guy. I thought that was kind of cool.
yeah,
But he needs time to do it, and at the end, he just simply didn't have enough time
right,
to think about being somebody else. So,
yeah,
a very interesting idea. I think done to be about as well as they could do. As I said last week, when I'm watching these things, I have to keep on remembering that all this shit was brand new to people in the 50s when they're watching it. All the years we've been watching shit like this is because of this. And we can't say, well, gee, you know, this reminds me of this or this is similar to this. Well, yeah, 50 years will do that to you when you're trying to plan out stories. But once again, we have another Rod Serling written episode that's an adaptation of a short story by another writer. And, you know, those go okay. I think because of the changes they have to do to the original story, sometimes they get lost. But overall, I liked it. Good little episode. Said, you know, nothing outstanding, but the actor was competent. The effects were good.
yeah.
I love the. Anytime you get the mob in there, I love shit with the mob. Whenever you can go to these these guys right out of the 50s, Goodfellas. I love that stuff. So I enjoyed it. Overall, a good episode, but not the best. Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. I definitely agree. You know, the guy who played the main actor, he did good. You know, but I've definitely seen a lot better episodes. I did like how they kind of keep the mystery though of not really getting far into like his abilities. You know.
Yeah, I think these episodes are better than last week. I don't think they're a whole lot better, but I still think they're better. For example, next we get to something that doesn't happen all that often. We get 2 episodes back to back that are about space and space related. That doesn't really happen. Rod Serling really tries to mix it up. He didn't want to be too much like I'm a science fiction show, even though he was. He kind of tried to mix it up. So the next one is a shot an arrow into the air. That's written by Rod Serling. Based on an idea by Madeline Champion, directed by Stuart Rosenberg, stars Dewey Martin as Corey and Edward Bond as Donlin. And basically, this is a brand new, untested spaceship. They're basically testing it out. It crash lands on an asteroid, and all the crew, with the exception of these 3 guys, die. They only have limited water, limited rations. And of course, it's looking at, you know, man becoming an animal when survival is put into the mix. And we get the one guy, Donald, who's real off the hit. You know, he basically murders one of the other crew.
Yep.
Ends up murdering everybody, and then the twist happens. You know, we find out at the end, and there's another couple episodes of Twilight Zone that I really like. I like this quite a bit. But we find out at the end of the story that they're basically in the desert in Nevada, which I knew from the beginning.
Right.
And basically it was just man against man, dog against dog, killing each other to survive. And once you start thinking about this, where this story really falls apart is even in the 50s, or whenever this was supposed to take place, astronauts are trained to know astronomy. So if they stayed there overnight, they would be able to tell from the stars exactly where they were. So the conceit of the episode is is not all that well developed. But overall, it doesn't. The space end of things, the science end, I don't think it really matters. This was a story about this could have taken place in water on a tugboat. This is just a story about, you know, men, what they will do when their life is on the line and becoming animalistic and becoming human. And that's what the story was about. It just happened to take place around a science fiction setting. Once again, as I said, I saw this ending coming right from the beginning. Of course, I've watched all the Twilight Zones, so it was pretty obvious. But it was well acted. The guy who played the nuts guy, and the captain were good. It went by fairly quickly. I liked it. There's better space oriented episodes, but this was once again a right in the middle type of solid episode. Once again, another episode where Rod Serling adapts a story into something else.
Well, I like the twist too, where you get where they're not really from Earth.
No, wrong episode. That's the next one.
This isn't the one.
No, this is the one where they crash on an asteroid. It turns out they're in Nevada, and the one astronaut guy kills the other two. Did you watch that one?
So I guess because you get two space ones in a row, that's kind of they're both kind of space ones at least.
Oh, that's what I just said. They're both space orientated back to back. But this is the one where basically they're just trapped in a desert, and they think they're on another planet or an asteroid. They're not. They just crash back to Earth, and everything comes. So it's pretty basic survival type story. It was okay.
Yeah.
But once again, as I said, the conceit would be these astronauts would have to be pretty dumb to not know where they are. So. But did you watch this one?
Yeah, I watched it. That just kind of blended in.
Yeah, it didn't have much of an opinion. Yeah, it's not much of it's a pretty low bar.
I'd say I definitely like the next one a lot more, because this one kind of almost felt like it merged together in a way. Yeah, I thought this one was okay. I watched all four. I know that, but yeah, this one kind of just didn't really leave any lasting impressions, to be honest.
Yeah, Slasher Fred just said
they're both episodes are about like two families in a way, trying to come together.
Well, these were just astronauts on a thing. I don't think you were related.
I think I remember this one.
But Slasher Fred said this episode was the inspiration for Planet of the Apes. I don't know if it was or not, but yeah, it gave me very strong Planet of the Apes vibes. At least the whole part where they're crossing the desert before they see the apes, that and everything that's happened then. So it was a good solid episode, but nothing great. Overall, very watchable, very well acted, very well done. Once again, I'm impressed by this show. And something I read in the book is after this next batch of episodes, they went, I think, after the 29th episode, so there's probably about 2 more weeks of shows to go. So they actually took a hiatus where they weren't sure if the show was going to get renewed or for a second season or for 10 more episodes, because they ended up with like 39 episodes in the first season. And they did, and then they came back and they finished it. So, they did pretty well with these bats. But what impressed me is this show goes out on locations. I mean, a lot of it's set bound, but they do go into the desert, and when they have to go on like an alien world, they go on location, and I think that really adds to the realism of it, as opposed to if it was a set.
Yep, definitely. Because this one is you could obviously tell it's in Nevada.
And TV didn't do that a lot, so it just shows how much pull Rod Serling had with the network. He was big. Rod Serling, you have to appreciate how big Rod Serling was for CBS. He single-handedly wrote so many episodes of their Playhouse anthology dramas and stuff, and he just came out from Requiem for a Heavyweight, that big story about the boxer, which is coming to Blu-ray very soon, by the way.
Which one is
that? What's Requiem for a Heavyweight? Great movie. Anthony Quinn, Rod Serling wrote it. It's a great film.
Oh, okay.
And but basically, he had such pull that he could get these things done on location.
Yeah.
Not to be shows in the 50s went on location, and they did a great job. I mean, a really good job on the cinematography in this episode.
Yeah.
And then the music's done by Bernard Herrmann. Bernard Herrmann did the music for Psycho. I mean, this was a heavy hitter, and they always had him doing scores for Twilight Zone. So.
Oh yeah, I thought that there was definitely some reminiscence to the score.
Yeah,
I didn't
Bernard
know he
Herrmann
did.
stuff
That's
sounds
awesome, though.
very, yeah. All right, so the next one, the next episode, are you?
Hold on a second, though, bro.
Sure.
Before we get into that, I'm gonna say what's up to the chat, brother.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We got some people up in here. We got Verno. What's up, brother? Phil fucking
Stays
pop
Verno.
up. We got Sammy. What's up, Sam? Station, brother. Station to Gary. What's up, my man? We got Two Gun Pedro up in
Hey, Two
here.
Gun.
Station. We got Perry
Perry
P
Gaiman.
Money. Brother.
Perry Money.
Hey, what's up, Zach? I ain't seen you in the chat the last couple weeks, man. Hope all is well, brother. Station, my man. Let's see. And we got Slasher Fred, and he said that episode was the inspiration for Planet of the Apes. The one we were just talking about, episode 14. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I could say. Cool. Yeah, I could say that some of it really worked its way into that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they definitely took some points from it and went full out with Planet of the Apes, because I love Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, you gotta realize those came out like 20 years later. So
Hitchhiker was best of the four. Two Gun says we're almost there.
We shall see. We shall see.
Slasher Fred, the twist in the Hitchhiker is very similar to a story I've read in the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark called Something to Tell in the Dark, where it is revealed that the main character is dead.
Well, also Carnival, was it Carnival of the Dead, or what is that? What's it? Carnival
What's up, Kenneth?
Something Carnival of Spirits was a big movie that was similar to this. But the next movie, the next episode is Third from the Sun.
Hey, something to aim for, right?
What's that? It's called Third from the Sun, written by Rod Serling.
No, we just talked about Third from the Sun.
No, we did Shot an Arrow into the Air.
No, episode 15.
Yeah, it says I shot an arrow into the air. That's the one where they crashed on the asteroid and they kill each other and they're in the desert.
Third from the Sun is episode 14.
Oh, okay. Well, I have them written down this way. So
episode 15 is I shot an arrow into the air.
Okay, so I have them reversed. We already did that one. So Third from the Sun is the one we're doing.
No. We just did Third from the Sun.
No, we did a shot an arrow into
the No, brother. Just listen.
Yeah, I screwed it up.
I'm looking at IMDb right now.
Well, they're wrong.
They're not wrong.
I shot an arrow
into the air. Episode
what does it
15.
say it's about?
Order breaks down between 3 surviving crewmen whose rocket ship crashed on an unknown world in limited.
Yeah, man, we just did that one. That's what we just did.
Bro,
I did them out of order, but we just did that one.
I told you both those episodes are too fucking confusing, bro. Literally, bro.
The one we are doing. The one we're doing is
a government employee plan to steal a spaceship and travel to another planet.
That's Third from the Sun.
That's the one we just did.
No, we haven't done that one.
Yes, because when I just talked, dude, when I just talked about,
that's not the one I was doing.
Would you shut up and let me speak? When I just mentioned the fucking twist at the end, you said, no, that's the next episode. Did you not?
Yeah, because we haven't done that yet. No, I got the episode. I got the episodes mixed up. I did them wrong in my breakdown. I should have done Third from the Sun second. I'm doing it now because it's mixed up.
And now you're saying Third from the Sun again.
We haven't done Third from the Sun yet. I screwed it up.
We just talked about it. Just let it go and stop making us look crazy. Because I'm telling you, Third from the Sun is the one we just talked about. I shot an arrow into the air is episode 15.
Yeah, I know. We just talked about that one.
You don't get it, bro.
Well, whatever the title is. Okay, whatever the title is, doesn't matter. Okay. The story is on the next one that the basically it concentrates on two families and this other conniving guy that's around them. And the war is going to break out, atomic war. This guy works in the industry. He knows it's coming within a day or two.
Bro, so you're still talking about Third from the Sun.
Because we haven't done it yet.
Bro, which one? We just did 13. And then you talked about a second.
Don't worry about the numbers. We just talked about the episode where 3 astronauts go and crash on an asteroid and they find out they're in Nevada. Isn't that the one we just did?
Bro, I don't know because you fucked it all up.
Yeah, I had the title reversed to my thing. I did it backwards.
I don't know what you did, man. But
this story here is the one where the two families find out there's going to be a nuclear war, and they steal the spaceship, and they go into space. And then the twist at the end, which you started talking about a minute ago, is that we thought these guys were from Earth, but they were aliens going to Earth.
Bro,
That's
next time I'm leading this shit because you got I don't know what we're even talking about at this point.
well, regardless. This is the episode. There's two back-to-back space episodes.
Yeah, which I said are too fucking similar.
Well, this episode basically, as we just said, is the families going out into space because there's a war coming. That's the one. Were you just talking about that one a minute ago?
Bro, I was talking about the one where at the end they say we're gonna go to a planet and it's Earth.
Okay,
That's what
yeah.
I was talking about.
That's
And you were
not.
like, no.
I was reviewing the other one, and you were reviewing that one. So I didn't review.
Dude, IMDb doesn't have it wrong because it goes, the four of us are dying. Third from the sun, I shot an arrow into the air.
I know because the titles. Because I did it backwards, but look at what the episodes are about.
Well, go ahead and talk. I don't know.
This is the one where they're basically going, nuclear war is going to break out, so they steal a spaceship, and the whole twist at the end is that they're from a different planet, not from Earth, and that's basically the entire story. So we see family life, and then we see this happening. I wasn't talking about that one a second ago, so I'll just say this one I thought was, as you said, very similar in tone to the other one that we just talked about. I liked it, but it was nothing special. And the twist is about the only thing that really, I think, sets the episode apart, because I wasn't thinking about, and that was what they were hoping, is that you thought these people were from Earth and then we're going to have a nuclear war, and it ends up that they're not from Earth, but they're similar to that. Now they're coming to this planet.
Yeah.
And so that the twist is definitely, I think, the big part about this episode, because the twist you don't see coming, and it kind of elevates the episode. Whereas the other episode, you could telegraph it right from the beginning what was going to happen.
Right. Yeah, I like this one, but so the one where they're not from Earth, that's called Third from the Sun.
Third from the Sun.
And the one that you talked about before, that's the fucking shot an arrow where they land in Nevada.
Yes, because the ship was called an Arrow or whatever. That was the name of the ship. I just think we just did a bad.
To be honest, I didn't like the first half of Third from the Sun because I just didn't know what the fuck was going on. It was like some Stepford Wives type shit. But like once you get to the twist and everything, I did really like that.
Yeah. This one had a twist. The other episodes really didn't.
Yeah, this one had a good twist, I'd say. Just because you expect, like you said, you expected them to be from Earth.
Yeah, so when you I
was like, oh, they're going to Mars or some shit.
Yeah, going out, but we're going to, it's Earth. Oh, of course, same thing as the other episodes. A bit ridiculous, 50s, they're in the spaceship in fucking business suits and ties and stuff, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And all the stuff inside the ship was from the movie we looked at before, Forbidden Planet. That was all stuff they borrowed from that set.
Yeah.
And even the spaceship, I think, was from Forbidden Planet, whatever. So overall, an okay episode, but kind of forgettable, with the exception of the ending. The twist.
Yeah, very, very subpar. So I'd say even the shot an arrow into the air, that one was decent. But it was more about the stir craziness of them freaking out about supplies and, about having enough water, and them just kind of going what is that? What is that when they're going nuts in the desert? What's that called?
Just they're having hallucinations and stuff.
Yeah, they're just going nuts, and he thinks he killed someone, or he thinks the dude's dead, and the lieutenant thinks he killed him and shit. So that one had better story going, but it ended like.
But yeah, more action, better action.
Yeah,
probably a little bit better story. But the ending, you saw, and it did have a twist, but you kind of saw it coming.
Yeah,
The same,
definitely.
the same thing would have happened to them even if they didn't crash on, even if it wasn't a ship, even if they were out there because they crashed a plane. Say the same exact shit would have happened to them. So, an interesting
Yeah,
story, and even the next one is an interesting story. But once again, kind of
yeah.
not the
Third
best
from the Sun was way boring, honestly, until you get to that
to the
twist. A
end.
lot
Yeah,
of just talking back and forth and just like what the fuck is going on, because they're working at some nuclear like power plant or something, and
yeah. They knew the enemy was going to be. They got they worked for the government. And they found out that the enemy was launching an attack, and then they got a
yeah,
counterattack. So they knew the end was coming.
yeah.
But then we had that creepy guy. I couldn't really figure out who was that creepy guy. The guy that kept on coming around trying to sniff it out. Was he? He wasn't
The guy
a
with the
worker.
glasses.
Yeah, he wasn't a worker. Was he a reporter? I don't know. I mean, I'm not. It wasn't really clear. At least, oh man, I missed it.
Me either, honestly. I thought like he was like a spy for the plant or
The other.
something. You know what
Oh
I mean?
really? Maybe.
He was
I'd
some
have to
type of like
rewatch
I
it.
don't know. It was weird the way they put him, but I got him as like some spy, and he was just trying to keep things in order. If anything, I don't know. It was kind of weird. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Interesting, but as you said, it was kind of dull, kind of boring.
Definitely, I shot an arrow into the air gives Forbidden Planet vibes. Now I get what you mean with that, because that's what when you were saying them, I was like, I had them backwards myself since you went backwards, and I'm like thinking, but yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
like the twist. I like the twist for what is that? Third from the Sun, and I shot an arrow into the air. That was just a better story, but very subpar ending that you kind of saw coming. You
yeah.
know.
I think of all the spaceship ones they did. These were definitely on the weaker side. In fact, even last week's the one where the guy was left,
Gable.
the one where the guy was left the robot. Remember that one? That one was better than these two.
Oh,
With the
definitely,
female robot.
definitely. I enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
one was a lot better.
yeah, this one had
Forbidden
these were kind of
Planet
weak.
was inspiration for Star Trek,
Mhm.
and lots of the cast. The original Star Trek had appeared in Twilight Zone. William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and George Takei.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
you
Forbidden
know,
Planet.
Scarpin loves him some Star Trek.
I think Forbidden Planet is probably the most used for stock footage. Like whenever you see a spaceship in like Twilight Zone, it's like always the fucking Forbidden Planet ship because that's the rights they had back then.
Right.
So the last episode, this one I do have right, is called The Hitchhiker.
This one you can't get wrong.
And
I know
and
both of them fucking space ones were just very subpar, so they're very easy to get confused.
well, plus I had it backwards, so I fucked it up. But The
Bro,
Hitchhiker,
bro, you
written
just
by
had me confused myself, and I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about?
the Hitchhiker was written by Rod Serling, another one based on a radio play, this time by Louise Fletcher, directed by Alvin Ganzer, starring Inger Stevens, who was a pretty big time actress back in the day.
Yeah.
And I loved her performance. Man, she played the nervous girl like perfectly. Like
Yeah.
when
Gave me
she
a lot of psycho vibes, like
yeah, she's blonde and whatnot. And she's driving, but basically the premise is that she keeps on seeing this hitchhiker appearing before her over and over. There's no way he could be ahead of her. She ends up picking up another guy, a Marine, and he ends up getting out of there because he thinks he's crazy. Even though she was going to throw him a little nookie, that even somebody's crazy to get throw you a little nookie and you get the fuck out of Dodge. So,
right.
but you know, and basically what we find out in the story, she ends up calling her mother. Mother's not there. She's in a mental institution because she's distraught because the daughter is dead. She actually crashed her car, blew up the tire, crashed her car, and died 6 days ago. So basically, this is the woman. It's almost like a carnival.
I thought maybe the hitchhiker crashed into her or something.
No, it's who knows? No,
What
it's
was
just
the
that
point of the
the
hitchhiker then?
woman, the woman is on the phone says that the daughter's tire blew out and she had a car wreck. The point of the hitchhiker is a stand-in. Once again, he's another persona of Mr. Death. Now
Yeah.
we've seen
Oh,
this. We've seen this in the episode with the peddler, Mr. Death, and I
yeah.
think it's with the guy in the jail cell, the guy who killed his wife or wife killed him.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, he was kind of like once again. Now we have another stand-in for the Grim Reaper, is the hitchhiker. So that's basically she's in kind of like limbo, and he's kind of there to take her wherever she's gonna go, and
Yeah.
that's why she keeps seeing him. And basically, he's the personification of death.
Right.
Um, that she finds out at the end, and then once she finds out that she's actually dead, then she becomes very calm and accepting of what's happened.
Yeah.
This one was like the episode we had last time, Judgment Night, very atmospheric. No doubt, this was my favorite of the 4 episodes.
Definitely.
The performance by Inger Stevens, the performance by the other guest stars, the whole conceit of driving, that sequence where they're veering in, she's seeing the hitchhiker and she's veering all over the place. That was great. And then once again, a very eerie ghost type story. Twilight Zone does these very well, I find.
Yeah.
And they always get the right people to play in them. That hitchhiker was kind of scary and odd at the same time. So
Yeah.
I definitely like this episode. This would be, it wouldn't be top 10, but it would be up there. And I think better Twilight Zone episodes, ones that I would show as an example of good Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it's definitely top 10 for me.
I really like this one.
Best of the week by far.
Yes, best of the week.
Best story, best atmosphere, best music, and best ending. Even though I do really like the twist ending at Third from the Sun or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the stories are getting better. We got some bangers coming up, but Twilight Zone was very like that. I mean, and that's an anthology show at its finest. Is the fact that you'll get some that are just terrible, or some of them just okay, and then some of them are fantastic. But that's great because then you don't have to sit through crap all the time. It's good most of the time.
So it's nice that they do a lot of, you get like 4 completely different episodes. This first time where we got 2 space in a row, but.
And I said that they usually don't do that. They usually break it up pretty well.
Yeah, I think the main actress did really good though. She had that she was just freaked out the entire time, and that's a lot to ask from an actress, and I think she knocked that out of the park. And it had good atmosphere. I think she did great, man. I like I said, she gave me a lot of Hitchcock vibes, even though it was before that time. But I could definitely see that. I've seen so many. Like I said, Creepshow 2 did a hitchhiker, story. I've definitely seen this story, copied. So
wasn't there one in
see Twilight Zone be the one that kind of started it?
Wasn't there one in that movie Nightmares?
Possibly. I own that movie and I still haven't watched it.
You should watch it. There was the hitchhiker portion of it is the best part of that movie.
Is it? I know. Yes. I picked it up because there's one with like Emilio.
Yeah, it's out of print now. You can't get that anymore.
Oh, it's out of print now?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a Canadian movie, and
I still got it. I never even opened it yet.
Yeah, I saw that I saw it in the theater, and I thought it wasn't bad. And that hitchhiker part of that is very good. Yeah. And it's similar to what we just watched. So you should check it out.
Does it have a girl in it? There's one.
Yeah, except I think
homemaker.
But she's more like a serial
or a cigarette.
Is more of a serial killer.
On the loose.
Yeah.
And there's the Emilio one about a video game hotshot.
Yeah, that's kind of like
Lance Henriksen.
Yeah.
Where this one seeks to find the faith he has but lost on the road, but instead he finds that someone or something in the desert is trying to drive him out of his mind. Maybe I wonder if it's the Lance Henriksen. There's 2 that look like they're on the road. I don't know. I'll have to watch this though. I picked it up.
You should watch that. It's good. That's a big good one to watch with a wife. That's a good good story.
I love I love me some anthology. I didn't know this was out of print. I'm glad I picked it up when I did.
Yeah.
I feel like the random ones like this always go out of print first.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I have quite a few over here still. Scream Factory that I gotta open up. I got like a whole stack of that.
Was that a Scream Factory, that Nightmares?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's definitely out of print. I didn't know it was a Scream Factory. But
you own that, right?
No, I don't. I don't have that.
Really?
No, believe it or not.
Wow.
But
that was a cheap one.
Yeah, so I definitely like this episode the best of the bunch.
I'd say the same. There's also
But
a
you want to go
granddaughter
back?
in the 80s called The Hitchhiker. It followed a drifter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I've never
on
heard.
HBO or something, I believe.
Hmm.
And of course, you had that movie, The Hitchhiker, with Rutger Hauer.
Right, which that's finally getting like a 4K release, which I'm
4K.
excited for because that's a movie that is not the best quality.
No,
So
it was terrible.
that deserves it.
Yeah, 4K is coming into its own when they get announced that we're getting a 4K. Uh, for the that was the Toxic Avenger. We're getting
Yeah.
Toxic 1 through 4 and a 4K. So
Dude, I don't even own them on Blu-ray, so
yeah, no, I'll be picking
that's
up
a
the
set.
first
That's
one.
you
Uh,
only own the first one?
no, I have none of them, so I'll be picking up that one, all four
I
of them.
thought
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you own the first one.
I don't think so.
You'd have to
I
look, but
I have the Mego doll.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I know I want that Mego doll. I'm pretty sure I remember you showing me
I don't think I
Toxic
do.
One.
About to look. Maybe it's possible, but I don't think I do.
I know you
But
forget about some stuff, but I know you're gonna get the 4Ks anyways.
yeah, only the first. The rest of them were first and second one.
So we said The Hitchhiker is our favorite episode. Let's go back and
Rate 'em up?
let's rate them episode 13 through 16. So
Well,
what do you give episode 13? And anyone in the chat is able to watch these episodes. Throw your ratings down below.
all right. So which one was 13? The face changer guy.
Yeah, 4 of us are dying.
Out of 5, I'd give it probably about a 2.5. Not one of my favorite. It's solid. It's competent, but I think probably the weakest of the bunch. So 2.5 in that one for me.
I'd probably go, 2.75 on it.
Okay.
Episode 14, Third from the Sun.
As you said, that one had a great twist at the end, but kind of a boring story.
Yeah.
But I did like the twist. And back then, I think back then people went, what?
Yeah.
They wouldn't know what the fuck's going on.
That's why it's got an 8.1
yeah.
on IMDb.
I'm not going to go that high. I think it was a kind of an okay episode. I'm going to go with 3.
I'm going a 3 as well because just the twist was really good. So
yeah, twist so it makes it a little bit more than that. I would say an average episode.
And I could see, like you said, I could see back in the day they'd be like, "Holy shit, they're not from Earth."
Yeah, we thought they were from Earth, and some people probably still go, "I don't get it."
Yep. And then episode 15, A Shot and Arrow into the Air.
Stupid title. This one was about. I liked it better than the other space one. It had more action, but really it could have been any story. It didn't have to be them crashing. I think even people back in the 50s would think, they would kind of have an idea where this was going.
Yeah.
And the fact that the astronauts didn't know what the fucking where they were by the look at the sky. Wow. Even in the 50s, they knew that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it a 3, same as the other one. A competent episode, a lot of good action stuff, but ultimately average or a little above average.
This is the one that inspired Planet of the Apes, from what I know. I'd say I'd give it a 2.75.
Yeah.
I think this and the 4 of us are dying were very equal for me.
Yeah, very average and whatnot.
Yeah. And then we got the episode 16, The Hitchhiker, which was our favorite.
Yeah, for me, I like it because it's very atmospheric. The performances were good. The ending, I kind of had an idea, but not really. And then it was find out that this guy's Mr. Death and she had died. It's decent. It's not the best of these type of episodes that the Twilight Zones has, but it's above average. Which so I'm gonna give it a 3.75. It was good. It was above average, and I enjoyed it. And my favorite episode of the bunch.
It had a good twist. I'm gonna go 3.5 on this one. I think it was good atmosphere, very good music, very good acting, and it had a good twist. Not my favorite of this year of the Twilight Zone episodes, but I see it definitely inspired a lot over the years. So yeah, 3.5. Let's see, Two Gun gave episode 13 a 2.5. Episode 14, he gave 2.69. Good twist. Episode 15, he gave 2.5. And episode 16, he gave 3.69. It looks like we're about on the money.
Yeah, everybody's pretty close.
Yeah. So for next week, we got episodes 17, 18, 19, and 20. And episode 17 is called The Fever. Episode 18 is called The Last Flight. Episode 19, The Purple Testament. And episode 20, Elegy.
Elegy, I think it is. Something like
Elegy. It made Elegi. Elegy. That probably sounds.
Yeah, a couple of them ring a bell, sort of, kind of.
It looks like The Fever has a 6.6.
Yeah, that's right now. Typically, I would say
that's the lowest episode out of the ratings, like on IMDb. That's the lowest one. The 16 millimeter had a 6.8. That's the Hollywood one. Our first week.
Yeah.
The girl. So
the Fever is about gambling, and it's not the best of those type of episodes, but yeah, they've done these a few.
Hey, who knows? I might like that one. I like those gambling ones sometimes.
Yeah, I think you will like it. I'm going to say right now, without remembering the other ones, that's probably the best of the bunch. But we'll see.
Really? Yes. Yeah, because the other ones I'm not sure about either.
We shall see.
The Last Flight is a World War I British fighter pilot lands in America Air Base. And,
it's another one of these.
42 years in the future, which I know that I've heard of that one before. And then Purple Testament is a U.S. Army lieutenant serving in the Philippines during World War II. So it's like you're going to have two war type ones. So we'll see. Yeah. And then Elegy is about 3 astronauts touched down on an asteroid.
Oh, another asteroid. You notice they always go to the desert.
Yeah.
That's because they're close to fucking Nevada.
Right.
You don't see too many Snow Planet episodes on the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see.
We shall see.
Hopefully, we've had a couple. The last 2 weeks were okay. They didn't start as strong as the first 2 week worth of episodes, I think, at least. So hopefully we'll get a couple bangers next week. I don't really see it, but whatever. They're still fun to talk about, though.
It's still better than half the shit on TV now. So.
Yeah, for sure. Better than fucking The Twilight Zone by Jordan Peele.
That is true. So, that will never be reviewed by me. And sorry, I turned that one off.
Too, and I enjoy rewatching these episodes. I forgot most of them. That's why I forget a lot of them too, man. It's been a while. But tomorrow, Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we got the horror show coming up, and we'll be reviewing Blood-Sucking Freaks.
That's right.
If you're able, it's a trauma film. It's a fucked up film, so beware, but it's going to be one. You're not going to want to miss the discussion on this one tomorrow, because I think it's going to be out of this world. And then Monday, Scarpad, we'll be reviewing on Scarpad's domain George Clooney's Solaris.
Yeah, it's 2009 Solaris.
7:45 p.m. Eastern, and then I'm not sure what Robbie's reviewing, but he'll be shortly after our review around 9 p.m. Eastern, I believe he goes on, so definitely go check him out. And yeah, man, thanks for coming on, Sam. I appreciate you hanging out. Good show, guys. Hopefully I can catch you live tomorrow. Yeah, station, brother. I hope you can catch it tomorrow, too. But yeah, we're going to dip out. I appreciate everyone who came out tonight. You guys are the best. Definitely make sure you tune in tomorrow. It's going to be a hell of a stream. We're going to have a lot of fun fucking around and bullshitting. Like I said, Blood-Sucking Freaks. If that title doesn't do it, it's going to be a wild show.
And I believe you can watch that. It's streaming all over the place. So.
Okay. Yeah. So come check us out tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate you guys hanging out tonight, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.